Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about drum brake, vehicle construction, and it's part of every vehicle, which is called drum brake. We will talk about its parts, its construction, advantages and disadvantages. So let's start. First of all, working principle of drum brake. The brake shoe can expand in both the direction as the brake lining of shoe touches the inner surface of the drum. Friction is generated on between the brake shoe and drum and stops the vehicle from moving further. So what it actually do is that the brake shoe and drum is have friction between surface, so it helps to stop the vehicle from moving. This is the figure where you can see main parts of drum brake. It includes primary shoe return spring, which is here in blue, and here the red one is secondary shoe return spring. So it have two return springs, primary shoe and secondary shoe returns spring. Backing plate, it's this the blue one is dark blue one is backing plate. There is primary shoe cable guide. This the white one, wheel cylinder assembly. This one, the in center is showing wheel cylinder assembly. Then there comes shoe hold down parts. On downside, parking brake lever, adjusting cable. This the cable to adjust it. Then there is a parking brake cable, secondary shoe, adjuster lever, adjuster assembly, adjuster lever spring. So these are basically main parts of drum brake, which it consists of. Parts of drum brake drum, a round housing which is used to stop the vehicle with the help of brake shoe. So it's connected with brake shoe which help you to stop the vehicle. The drum brake is bolted to hub of the wheel and it rotates with hub. So the bolt of drum brake is connected with the hub of the wheel and it rotates the hub. Second one is brake shoe, the frictional part of the drum brake and the backbone of drum brake. Without this, working of brake is not possible. Friction part is important and the drum brake is very important. So they work together to stop the vehicle. The brake shoe has brake lining at its outer curve. It is the brake lining which makes contacts with brake drum during stopping the vehicle. It has two types, then it brake shoe, and it have two types: primary brake shoe, secondary brake shoe. The shoe having large lining material is primary brake shoe. The shoe having small lining material is secondary shoe. Then there comes wheel cylinder, return or retracting spring, self adjuster. As I told you in this figure, these are the parts of drum brake. Then there comes construction view of drum brake, how it is constructed. So there is a basically adjuster lever, shoe hold spring, there is springs, trailing shoe, leaning, return spring, anchor. Here you can see anchor, parking lever, back plate, wheel cylinder. The whole process in drum brake. What is the basic process? Here is brake pedal. When you press brake pedal, brake booster. This is the booster which helps it to transmit your fluid from brake pedal. Master cylinder. This is the cylinder. Brake oil. So this oil from here cylinder moves further to this disc. And there is wheel cylinder. It comes here. There is piston, brake lining, brake shoe, brake drum. So here comes brake drum at the end. Working of drum brake. As the brake pedal is pressed, it compresses the fluid in master cylinder and allows the piston of the wheel cylinder to expand outward. When you press pedal, the master cylinder expands. The outward motion of the piston of wheel cylinder forces the brake shoe outwards against the brake drum. So after that, wheel cylinder uh, piston moves and it moves the brake shoe. As the brake shoe lining touches the inner surface of the drum and due to friction generated between the brake shoe and drum, the motion of wheel reduces and vehicle stops. As the force is removed from the brake pedal, the retracting and spring draws the brake shoe inward and the contact between the friction lining drum ended. Now again the brake is ready to apply. A self-adjusting screw is present at the bottom which is used to maintain a minimum gap between the drum brake and shoe. When the lining of a brake shoe is wearing out, then the gap between the drum and brake shoe increases. So I will show you a video where you can imagine this, how it works. This is the car vehicle and here comes the drum brake. So this is cylinder, these are springs. Here you can see wheel cylinder cap, wheel cylinder body, its piston. If you go back further, we can see adjuster, lining, parking lever, and backing plate assembly. So these are basic construction of drum brake. Moving further, leading shoe type drum brake. It's kind of drum brake. The two shoes function in a way they both become either the trailing shoe or leading shoe depending on whether the vehicle is traveling forward or backward. So it depends on the traveling of vehicle. It's moving forward or backward, so they work accordingly. Drum brake generates consistent braking force whether the vehicle traveling forward or backward. Drum brake is giving a force to vehicle accordingly moving further or backward, forward or backward, sorry. This is because drum brake generates the same braking force in either direction. Generally this is used for the rear brakes of passengers. Twin leading shoe, this is other type of drum brake. This type of drum brake has two wheel cylinders and two leading shoes. Each wheel cylinder presses on one shoe so that both shoes are as leading ones when the vehicle moves forward. Each of the pistons housed in the wheel cylinders displays in one direction, so when vehicle is in reverse, both shoes act as trailing ones. This type is mostly used for the front brakes of small to mid-sized trucks. So this type leading shoe, twin leading shoe, is mostly you can find it in the trucks or I mean little bit large vehicles, not in cars or small vehicles. The dual twin leading shoe type has pistons that display on both directions, making it possible for shoes to act as leading ones regardless of direction of travel. This type mainly used for rear brakes of small to mid-size. So the previous one, leading shoe type, works accordingly the movement backward or forward, but the twin leading shoe, it doesn't depend on the direction of travel. So this is the basic difference between the dual servo type. Dual servo type of type feature structure where two brake shoes called the primary and secondary shoe are linked via an adjuster. So here comes the addition of adjuster. Strong pressure from servo effect of the primary shoe is transmitted to the linked secondary shoe, thus generated a large braking force. It's mainly used for passenger cars, center brakes on trucks, and brakes on forklifts. What are the basic advantages and disadvantages of drum brake? Advantages: they are self-energizing brake system. It means they are designed to operate by itself, so they work by themselves. What is second advantage? It is cheaper than the disc brake system. so it's cheaper, easy to buy. Disadvantages: heating problem due to friction area is totally covered by lining. This may reduce the brake efficiency. So there's a lot of friction and it's covered by lining. So this maybe it reduces the brake efficiency. So this is not good. Second, if it gets wet in water, it won't work properly. So this is a big disadvantage that mostly you are traveling in rainy season, so it's not good to use because if it's wet, so it won't work properly. Finally, thank you for your attention. Bye bye.